Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Ascent Meridian Technology Center's live stream. I am your host, Julie Griffin. I'm one of the project managers here in the Workforce and Economic Development Division, and I am once again just so excited to be here with you all. If you are watching, please drop a comment, whether you're watching on Meridian's LinkedIn or YouTube, my personal LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, or on any of the other platforms where it might show up. Please drop a comment. That's how we know you are here. The little eyeball tells us that we have viewers watching, but unless you comment, you're invisible to us. So as always, if there's anything that strikes your interest while we're having these conversations, please drop it in the comments. If we can address those during our time together, we will absolutely love to do that. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for today. If you've been following us for a while, you know I typically have somebody within our department highlighting some of the programs that they do. I have had one training partner that we work with occasionally as an adjunct trainer. And today we have another training partner joining us, though from a different perspective from what you might think when you think of partnership. So I've got Christy Driskel with the City of Stillwater with us today, and I'm going to go ahead and just bring her out. So hi, Christy.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm so glad that you were willing and excited about coming on with us today. I know sometimes it can be intimidating going live, but I think we've got a really good, story to tell as far as like how the City of Stillwater has utilized Meridian services. And even though I've been in career tech for almost 15 years, one of the things I hear all the time is, oh, you're one of the best kept secrets around. Well, we're tired of being a secret, right? And what other great way to tell our story than to have some of our partners share their experiences as well. So just real quick, why don't you just give us a little introduction into who you are and what you do with the City of Stillwater?
I am the HR director here at the City of Stillwater. I have been here since 2001, so over 21 years now. And with HR, what I'm responsible for is I have the team that coordinates all of benefits, safety, hiring, compensation, professional development, training, anything that might touch you as either an applicant or an employee here. Me or a member of my team is going to assist you through that process.
Very good. So you said you've been with the City of Stillwater since 2001. So that's been a little while. So in that span of time, like what has your experience with Meridian been?
So we really, what I would consider, launched our partnership in 2013. We have a City of Stillwater Leadership Academy that's open to any of our employees. They make application. And so a panel chooses them. And what we did is we went to Meridian and said, help us. Help us make this great. We want to develop leaders across our organization, regardless of their current job or title or duty. And so we really partnered strong with them, and we're to the point now where we call Meridian when it's a new year, and they have an absolutely turnkey professional development program for us that we can then introduce and roll out to our employees. And that's just one of the pieces of the partnership that we have with Meridian.
That's awesome. And being on the training side here at Meridian too, I was able to teach one of those sessions for the City of Stillwater Leadership Academy this spring. It was a really great group of people, and I love that the City of Stillwater as an organization is investing into their people like that.
We have a class of 12 this year. So typically we open applications in the late fall, early winter, and then they run throughout the calendar year. So this current group is getting ready to have their final class later this month, and then they will graduate from our academy next year and join the many other alumni that we've had since 2013. 2013 was our first class.
Okay.
The years of COVID, we joke with them that they got their master's degree because they took about 3 years to get that through with all the coordination and scheduling. So they're a master's in CSLA and Meridian Tech graduates. But yeah,
Very
so you
good.
got to come and speak to that class, and we've got rave reviews on every single session that they've had.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And it's on Wednesday when we had our 8th grade Discovery Day event here, there were, City of Stillwater had a very large presence. And there was one gal in our area, and I kept looking at her, and I knew she looked familiar, and she talked to me like she knew me. And it wasn't until I was eating lunch, I was like, that's why I know her. She was in that leadership class. And so
He
we got a
was.
conversation later.
That's our Sarah, and she is a wonderful recruiter for us. That's kind of her specialty area where she just does our recruitment and our hiring. And so they were so excited to partner with Meridian just on Discovery Day and really getting that introduction to those eighth graders who are trying to figure out their future still and introduce them to a possible career in municipal government. They had as much fun, I think, as the eighth graders did.
Good. I'm so glad. And like I hadn't been to an event like that. I think this was my second one here at Meridian, but what a great way to showcase when you think City of Stillwater, you might only think of whatever you already know as far as like a career opportunity, but there was probably half a dozen represented here on that day alone.
Yes, we actually are that. We're a little bit of that hidden secret too, just like you said in the beginning. You know, we have engineers and librarians and accountants, police, fire. We have the Stillwater Regional Airport, Fly Slow. And it's amazing the breadth and the depth of careers that we cover from our frontline water utilities, public works, traffic, waste management. If you are looking for a career and a place to call home in your employer, I can guarantee we have that opportunity for you. And then we're going to train you.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about the City of Stillwater's like training philosophy.
So what we want to do is we want to encourage employees not only to be ready for the role that they have, but also to be safe in that role, go home at the end of the day, but also we want them to find it here as a career. So we want to prepare them for their future positions here at the City of Stillwater. So with Meridian, we've partnered anywhere from advanced EMT for our fire to all of our safety courses, bucket truck training, chainsaw operations. Like you said, that goes back to the safety of keeping them safe and going home to their families at the end of the day. But also, we want you to have all the skills and tools you need, Microsoft Word, any of those. But we also want to get person is to that leadership development, the 5 choices, the 7 habits. We want to grow and develop them as an employee, but also just as that person to be successful in future roles.
That's awesome. And I love to hear you say that because it's one of the things that I say whenever I'm doing training as well is you're not just a worker. You're not just an employer. You are a person. You are a, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, whatever it is. And the skills that you learn that can make you successful like in the workplace can also transition and bleed over and help you be successful just in life in general. So I love that that is your philosophy as well.
Absolutely. We hear it's funny on, what did you learn from this class or what is your takeaway from this class? A lot of it is obviously going to be how to work with my team better, how to work with others. But we do see comments on those evaluations about, oh, I can take this home. This is a skill set I'm going to apply at home and at work. And it's great to see that kind of feedback because we want to impact them not only during their 8 to 5, but just make sure that they're comfortable in all aspects of their life and give them tools to be successful.
So you mentioned some of the feedback that you've gotten from those classes, and that's actually one of the questions that I had thought of before we started our conversation. But what kind of things have City of Stillwater employees said after they've experienced some of those training opportunities?
It's great. Now we're always going to have the what would make this training better,
Yes.
and it's if they say cookies and naps. Like, okay, but we're not going to do naps, but maybe cookies next time. But when you really get past the funny stuff, you get into it that this was much better class than I was expecting. I didn't know what my takeaway was going to be, but here's now what I'll apply. Our instructors were upbeat and engaging, knew the topic well, were able to relate it back to their real positions. I think a lot of people, when they think of training, think you're just going to go sit in a classroom and be spoken to. And a lot of our evaluations it was interactive. There were takeaways. We got to apply the knowledge. And that's what we want to see as an organization, that they are benefiting from the time that they sit in the classroom and that they respect and like those instructors. And one of our last questions is always, would you recommend this?
Mm-hmm.
And without a doubt, very strong on the yes, I would recommend this to my teammates to take.
That's awesome. And from the Meridian standpoint, I think that's great. And we love to hear that as well. I know we do class feedback for all the trainings that we do. And, we're not afraid of some negative feedback because that helps us to be better. But of course, getting, positive feedback across the board always makes us feel good as well.
Yes. Yeah, they've been great. We've told them, put honesty down. We want to make things better. If there's something we can tweak for the next class, and if we've ever had those comments, again, Meridian's been great to work with and really tailor it specific to our group and our audience.
So have you personally attended some of the training at Meridian?
I have. I was actually in our very first CSLA, so I'm an
Okay.
Academy Class 1 graduate, and then we move forward with you guys throughout the year at times. So I get to pop in and see several of the classes and take an active role. And then training function, the safety falls under human resources as well. And so Sean Eisensmith is our coordinator of that,
Mhm.
and he works very closely with Meridian on those too. So yeah, we try to make ourselves seen and aware. Professional development, I am very heavy in, and then Sean's in a lot of the classes too. So he's benefited in his role as well.
Very cool. Have there been any specific challenges that, as an organization, you have faced that Meridian has helped you to overcome?
I would say from the very beginning, just creating the program and how to plug in, who to plug in, what the fit might be, give us some ideas of content that's relevant or timely right now. We can honestly call Meridian and say, here are some goals and expectations, and they'll set us up a turnkey. These are the dates, this is the location we can provide, here's the instructor. If we have great response to an instructor, they will also tell us here's the rest of their curriculum that they can come
Mhm.
back and teach. We can call and say, here's a struggle we're seeing or having. Do you have something that might be beneficial for us at this time? And so I think to me, that's the biggest problem is that they're solving is we don't have to create the problem or let the problem grow because we have that relationship and that resource to catch it earlier at first request or just say, we kind of have this need, we're not sure to how to apply it, and they'll give us multiple different options to say pick one and here's how we can suit it to you.
Very good. I think that really speaks to Meridian's ability to customize training for whichever organization that we're working for. I think that's really one of the things that we're pride ourselves in being great at and want to be known for is that customization piece. Because what you as a municipality needs versus, maybe Ditch Witch as a manufacturer, you might have similar training needs, but the way that you need it implemented within your organization is different. And being able to adapt those training to what you need is really important to us as well.
Yes, and we see it from our frontline employees who have maybe a different training need that day, all the way up to our career professionals and the ability to flex and provide blended classes that they all need the skills, and then also individualize what makes it more important of an impact for their role and make sure that
Hmm.
they get the training necessary. Meridian's been key to that for us.
Very good. I just realized I was blocking the comments. So there's one I want to just bring up here. So Taylor, who also happens to work here at Meridian, said one thing that amazed me when I moved to Stillwater was the partnerships formed between organizations. Everyone here works together so well. Not being from Stillwater as well, like I can see that too. And what you're explaining here today just reiterates that as well. Let's see what else we got. I lost my thing. Is there any like funny stories or experiences that have come out of some of the training that you've done with Meridian?
I think anytime you add the personalities in of all the different things, I think if you ask that across our group of employees, they would all share a different story. I think that's one of the good things about the training and having that relationship that long term is that your instructors get to know our employees and know some personalities and some individual circumstances. And I think just that ease in class and the ability to kind of be themselves and ask questions, I think they get comfortable and you're always going to learn better in that environment. So I would honestly say not necessarily a specific pull-out story, but just that the comfort level in each class allows them to have fun while they're learning. And they'll tell stories on each other, or they'll see a classmate that they don't normally work with, and they'll see them in another location, and it's that immediate connection back over there because they have had fun at work together.
That's good. Can you talk a little bit more about um, what impact that has had, because I'm assuming in the Leadership Academy, you've got leaders or upcoming leaders from all across the organization in different departments. So what impact has that had on the organization when you have those individuals that then have had the same training but are in different departments?
Mhm.
Like, has that had an impact like on their ability to work together or like, seek assistance or advice from one another? Like, how has that played out?
I think definitely there's an improvement there. One, because just some of the terminology or the practices, they now have knowledge of that where they can kind of share that same thought process or that same plan. Just awareness. A lot of what we gain out of training is not only the topic at hand, but the face value, the face time with each other. And so they may come together to work and not have had a familiarity outside of training. And that's been a good initial connection for them. But also, what we've seen is Leadership Academy or those when we put out, hey, we have professional development that's an open enrollment because that's also a partnership we have.
Mhm.
And we'll see people, I'd like a spot in that class, or can I please join this class? We see them setting themselves up for future investment in themselves and the organization. So a lot of our employees who actively seek out and participate in the professional development that we offer are then the next in line to put their name in for a promotion or a succession planning because they're already thinking that way. And in my mind, you know a little bit more about what the next level role looks like if you've had the viewpoint of as a leader instead of just as that worker. It's different perspective and different viewpoints. And to me, we're giving them the tools necessary before they're placed in a hard role where it's just sink or swim.
Very good. I think there's no better way to treat your employees than to invest in them and give them the tools they need so it's not a sink or swim situation. I think that's
Mhm.
awesome, and kudos to you guys for that. Let's see what else. Um, let's go to the comments. So Jacqueline said, she asked the question, what industries do you work with most often? So I'm not sure if she's asking me that from the Meridian perspective or if she's asking you that from the City of Stillwater perspective.
Well, my perspective, our industries, we're going to touch anything in town. So if you're a
Mhm.
builder or a citizen or a visitor to our town, a library user, airport, roads, if you have electric services, any of those, we touch all that. So now I'll let you answer it from your perspective, if that sounds good.
Uh, And I think for us, it's very much the same. Like we are geared up and ready to serve any industries that are in our community, whether it's, the airport or the sewer treatment center or the firefighters or I mean, even people at the library. I think we've done classes with
Mhm.
all of those different entities and even people at OSU come here for training as well. So really depending on what the need is, there is a solution through us at Meridian. Very much so. Um, anything else that you'd like to share about either the city of Stillwater? Like, here's a chance to do a commercial for the city of Stillwater.
We are always hiring. If you want to check out our website at stillwaterok.gov, we just transitioned over to our new website. You're going to find all sorts of information there. But if you want to partake in some professional development and training and partnerships, definitely come look at us. We consider this a place that we want you to have a full career from. We want you to step foot in here day one and then just see this as your home where you are going to get the training, you are going to get the support, and you have the opportunity for movement up and across the organization. So we would love to see applications or give us a call, come visit, where we can talk to you more about the many different opportunities we have across the organization. I mentioned before, if we have skills and trades and knowledge and experience in almost every area. So we've got something that everyone can fit. So don't hesitate to look at us for a career opportunity.
Good. It's very good. And it's great to have that type of opportunity especially if you're from Stillwater, like in your home community. I know I'm not from Stillwater or even from Oklahoma. Like I was one of those that wanted to fly out of the nest and go. But I know a lot of people aren't like that. So having a good opportunity for a career in your hometown is really a great option. What? Trying to look at the comments, see if we've got anything else over here. Oh, Erica, she's tuning in. Erica is one of our people here at Meridian as well. I know you can't see these, I'm sorry. Then Chris Hennessy is tuning in. He's one of my LinkedIn connections. Joy Haken is watching. So hi, Joy. Thank you for being here. And who else we got? Oh, there's Erica again. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, and then Jacqueline said, it's awesome how Meridian can modify training to meet each company's needs. Yes, I do believe that is one of our tenets of what makes us great and what we strive to do. Trying to think. I think I've run through all of the questions that we had brainstormed. I thought our conversation would go longer today based on our conversation last week when we were just talking about going live. Anything else that you'd like to share about your experience with Meridian or just the City of Stillwater as a whole?
I would just say if you are looking for that training opportunity and that partnership, we've been extremely pleased with everything. And I don't want to make it sound like you have to have a full curriculum or a full course or anything like that. That Meridian has also been that when we call and just need this one topic, you can deliver. And so I would encourage anybody, whether they're big or small, or looking at a formal or anything, you guys can solve a lot of that professional development training, whether it's safety or emotional intelligence or any of the information pieces that would benefit an employee and their employer. Reach out, and we've had a great relationship that's a very long-term relationship, and I think it's been successful for us both.
Very good. Well, I'm so glad to hear you say that. I know it's one thing, like we know it, we believe it because we've heard it like through the grapevine or whatever, but to have somebody like you who has had such a long training relationship with Meridian, to hear the value that it has brought to your organization just feels really good. So thank you for doing that. And
You're
of course,
welcome.
like she said, if you are out there and you are curious about working with Meridian on any type of training, please reach out to us. You can go to meridiantech.edu and call us from there if you want to talk to the Workforce and Economic Development Department. Just ask for us when Miss Sandy answers the phone. So I think with that, if we don't have any other things, just burning things to talk about or questions to address in the comments, we will go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Christy, for being my guest. As always, mark your calendars for the first Friday of the month at noon. That's when we go live on the Ascent. I do not have my guest for November confirmed quite yet, but I will fairly soon. And as always, thank you, Christy. Thank you guys for being here who are watching, and we will see you next time. And Christy, if you just want to hang tight for a second, and we will wrap it up. So
Hey,
thank you all. Take care.